Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Olam chesed yibaneh. Ya la la, ya la, ya la la la. Let's do it again. Olam chesed yibaneh. Ya la la, ya la, ya la la.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Mo'adim L'Simcha.
Woo, fancy.
Thank you. Mo'adim L'Simcha is what you say during the intermediate days of a festival, because the beginning of Sukkot is Chag Sameach. The end of Sukkot is Chag Sameach. And the intermediate day, we say the intermediate days for joy. So we are in the middle of our festival of Sukkot. We'll talk more about that in a bit. I am Rabbi Joe Black. I'm the senior rabbi here at Temple Emanuel. Who are you?
That's how good our memories are by this point in the holiday cycle.
Little fried.
Hi, I am Cantor Liz Sachs. I'm the senior Cantor here at Temple Emanuel.
And we're thrilled to have Ken Mervine with us as well, our accompanist and a wonderful friend and musician. We are here on this Shabbat of Sukkot to celebrate. We have simchas in our congregation of Bat Mitzvah. We have people who are new to our community. We have people online. Turn around and wave to the cameras. Those of you who are watching us online, we're so happy that you've joined us. This is our last Friday night in the tent.
It is indeed.
We will talk about what we're doing next. It's good. But so enjoy it, savor it, drink it. If you live close and you want to come to the last and you're watching online, feel free. We'll welcome you in the tent as well, and you're also welcome at your home. So let's continue with kindling the festival, the candlelights.
And so it is our pleasure to invite Ella, who is becoming Bat Mitzvah this morning. That was a very big rolling of your eyes at me.
That's all we can see. We can't see your face. All we can see your eyes, Ella.
To come help us light our Shabbat candles with her family. Come, everyone up here. Very nice. Rabbi Black is going to help you.
I am.
With the very sophisticated candle lighting system we have at Temple Emanuel.
Well,
come
it's
on over
actually,
this
it's
way.
a trick thing. It doesn't always work, so we're going to try. Do you know how to use one of these? Oh, I hope so. Come on back here.
Just don't set the lulav on fire.
Please.
Please.
Hold this.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm going to try this. Oh, it is now. That's awesome. No, it's too late to make it. Set that down. Hold this one. Set it down.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
Mazel tov. We're going to call you up for Kiddush at the end of the service, so you have another eye roll that you can do. Okay. Look, you guys go back to your seats. Shabbat shalom. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. And we continue. This is the season of building tents of holiness, shelters of peace in our lands and in our hearts. This is the season of rejoicing in God's bounty and grace and the radiance and splendor in heaven and on earth. This is the season of thanksgiving, of giving thanks for the gifts of the land, for gifts yet to come, as we delight in the wonders of creation. This is the season of building tabernacles of joy and gladness in our moments and in our days, in our homes and in our lives. This is the season that summons jubilation and exaltation as we yearn for the great promise to be fulfilled, a world of harmony and love under one great Sukkah, a sanctuary of wonder and awe for all nations and all peoples, men and women arrayed in the light of God's glory until the end of days.
Oh, something happened. Hold on 1 second.
I think it's your G string.
Yeah.
Oh, it's your B string.
This is what happens when I let my children touch the guitar. Let's try that again. That sounds much better. We sing to God for the new song and the new season, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. I'll fix it later. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Let's do it again. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai,
There is a midrash, a rabbinic interpretation, that talks about the difference between a chuppah and a sukkah. And they're very similar in a lot of ways. A chuppah is the wedding canopy, and a sukkah is the hut that we build on Sukkot. This is not either a chuppah or a sukkah. This is a tent. But both of them, all three of them actually are temporary. But the uniqueness of the sukkah is that it's closed on the side and open on top. And the uniqueness of the chuppah, the wedding canopy, is that it's closed on top and open on the side. And each are incomplete, and each need to be finished by our harvest, our bounty, our love, our hope for the future. And we are about to sing Lecha Dodi, this song that says, "Come, my beloved, to greet the Shabbat bride." Weddings are on my mind for some reason lately. I'm not sure why, but we enter under the chuppah, the canopy of God's love, and we welcome Shabbat as we would welcome a bride or a groom. And so let's join together in singing Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela.
Sorry, let's try it again. From the top. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishnianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'letchila. Join us.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, לכו בדרך, כי היא מקום הברכה. בראש מקדם וסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki ba'orech uri, 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 shir da'beri, kevod Adonai,
עלייך נגלה. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, peri Shabbat nekabela. We rise as we are able. בואי ושלום, עטרת we remain standing for Baruch Hu. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai
The colors of early evening sky blend and deepen, allowing new lights to be seen twinkling through the branches. The promise that in darkness, new light will be revealed. Source of life, every year you plant within us a new tree of life. May it be your will that this year our Torah blossoms with kindness and not cruelty, wisdom and not foolishness, awareness and not thoughtlessness. May you teach us a Torah of love that will nourish us in every season.
Oh, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai. Please be seated. We chant together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת.
God of old, the one who led our ancestors to a land of promise, a vision of abundance, milk and honey from holy soil, grant me the strength to follow that sacred path. Trials in the desert, trials of heart, the journey home. Ancient One, your voice resounds in the hills, your call echoes in the valleys, your mysteries waiting in the desert and by the seas. Join me, please. Home is in my breath, in my eyes, in my heart. Home is in the joy and the laughter, in the work and the struggle, in the toil and in the rest. Blessed are you, God of our ancestors. You are the way home.
Oh
May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. May this night spread over us a canopy of calm, Sukkot Shalom, lifted by the blessing of rest. There will come a time when the morning will bring no word of war, famine, or anguish. There will come a dawn to rejoice in the peace of mind, heart, and being. Praised are you, the source of renewal within us, for the night's rest, for the promise of peace.
Every evening and every Shabbat, we sing and say this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores Sukkot Shalom aleinu. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who gives us a sacred shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom. And so as we immerse ourselves in our Sukkot holiday, we pray that this Sukkah and this holiday will bring us the peace that we desperately need, the calm, the hope, and the faith to move us forward into our brand new year. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores Sukkot Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Let's do it again. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores Sukkot Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'ol Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores Sukkot Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. One more time. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores Sukkot Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise now as we are able for the tefillah.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agir Tehilatecha, Ufi Agir Deilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tifta Adonai Sfatai Tifta Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע מוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממין ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue with Tfilat Halev, the prayers of our hearts, this time of rejoicing, this time of harvest, this time of thanksgiving. So what makes us rejoice? For what are we thankful on this Shabbat of Sukkot? Take a few moments. Look within. Whatever you need to say to God, what prayers are written on your hearts, let's find them, bring them out, offer them up as we pray in silence.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, unripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hold. despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my days be as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Lamdeni Elohai, barech ve'itpalel, laneren siftotai, bracha ve'shir halel. Lamdeni Elohai, barech ve'itpalel, laneren siftotai, bracha ve'shir
I love that piece of music by my dear friend Benji Schiller, Cantor Benji Schiller. So we move now into Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the Torah service, and also the Seder, the service for the lulav and the etrog on the Sukkot. So let us move into Sefer Kriyat HaTorah. Please rise.
as we unwrap our Sefer Torah from its very holy talus. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'akodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'akodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'akodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'akodsho.
So before we wave the lulav, I just want to talk a little bit, a very brief little bit, about what this means. What is the lulav and the etrog? First of all, you guys all see this etrog, right? Wow. This is one of five, count them, five etrogim. Thank you, you did that literally. 5 etrogim that we harvested last week from the Denver Botanic Gardens. This is, we are so blessed. It's very rare to be able to grow an etrog in Denver, Colorado. And these etrogim are huge. Just as a matter of comparison, this is the deluxe etrog that we bought from Israel. This etrog that Cantor Sachs says is the size of her head. We're taught, and we'll talk about this later on, that the etrog and the lulav represent many, many different things. It says in Leviticus chapter 23, you're supposed to take the fruit of a goodly tree, palm branches, myrtle and willow, and bring them together. And we really don't know what that means. I mean, we know that, so this is how this has evolved over the centuries. probably, I don't know why, but some people might say these are fertility symbols. I have no idea why they might say that, but they do. We take these 4 species, we bring them together, and we wave them in all directions, north, south, east, west, up, down, and all around, to remind us that God's presence is with us and God is everywhere. And there's lots of symbolism, we'll be talking about it later, of what the lulav and the etrog is. But there is a bracha that we are going to chant, and I'll talk a little bit. You're not talking about the bracha in your Dvar Torah, are you? That's my job. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. So the bracha for waving the lulav and the etrog is like every other bracha, Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam. And then since it's a rabbinic commandment, Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who makes us holy with mitzvot and commands us al nitilat lulav. It doesn't mean to wave the lulav, but to lift up, to hatil, to lift up the lulav. And we do so. And when you say the bracha, an etrog is supposed to have what's called a pitom. Can we zoom in on this? I don't know if you can or not. If you can, we are. This little tip at the end. What? Keep going. I'm working on it. This little tip at the end of the etrog is what makes it kosher. Now, you'll notice this etrog does not have an external tip. This is an innie, and this is an outie. They're both kosher, but this one does not have an external pitom. This one does. So you have to be very careful with the pitom, or if it falls off, we can't use it. So Chazan, would you like to help us with the bracha for the lulav?
I would love to.
Thank you.
So we sing together. It goes, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav.
We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. I can't read it, so why don't you say it?
Who hallows us with mitzvot,
Thank you.
commanding us to take up the lulav.
And so we go in all 4 directions. We start north. That is north, yes? And this is south. And that is east and west. Okay, that's east, sorry. That's west. Up, down, all around.
Or we could just sing the children's song.
We could sing the children's song. All around.
The other way.
And the etrog smells so wonderful. We'll talk more about what these symbols are later on in the weekend, on Shabbat.
So I think we will move ahead to Torah reading right now.
So that's a good idea.
And then we will drash in a little bit.
I'll take this.
So tonight, for our Torah reading, first of all, I would like to invite Francie Myron, who is going to read Torah for us. We moved back in time. For those of you who have been traveling with us in our 10 on Friday nights, last week, we were at the very end of Deuteronomy. We were so close that the Torah could not stay closed because it was so tightly wound to the very end of our Torah. But tonight, we take a break from that regular rhythm, and we move back to a special holiday portion, which is actually right in the middle of Exodus. Do not fret. We will still Simchat Torah in the next couple of days, which means we will still finish our Torah and then come back and start it again. But because it is the Shabbat of the holiday of Sukkot, there is a particular portion that we read. And that I will tell you a little bit more about later. But for now, we are going to be reading from Exodus 34, verses 6 through 9. Yes? Yes. Fantastic. And to help us with our Torah blessing, I'm going to invite the parents of the bat mitzvah to come and help us bless Torah. It is like practice for tomorrow. All right, let's make sure we are in the right spot. Hold on 1 second. We found it right before. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Rabbi Black is taking the long route to the microphone. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So.
Adonai Hambarach,
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Just hold on to that. Talk amongst yourselves for just a little bit.
Yeah. Amen. Vaya'avor Adonai al panav. Vanikra Adonai, Adonai. Al rahum v'hanun. Erech apayim v'rav hesed v'emet. Notzer hesed leolafim. Notze avon v'fesha v'hata'a v'nokeh lo yanakeh pokeyat avon avot al banim v'al b'nei banim al shilashim Vayamoher Moshe v'yichad artza vayishtahu vayomer avinu matzeta chen be'enecha Adonai yelechna et Adonai bikirbeinu ki koshe orif hu v'slachta lanu v'mishtahanu v'nitzi anu. Not my night, no.
It's okay. It's all good. Do you want to translate that?
Great news is that the portion is all about giving ourselves a chance to feel forgiveness. So there you go.
That was fine. It was beautiful.
It was very beautiful. So what we just read, and I'll talk a little bit more about later, are the actual 13 attributes that for many of us who are with us on the high holidays, we chanted very dramatically.
Very.
All right, so Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Adonai, Adonai, God of compassion and grace. Right, and then we talk about Erech Apayim V'Erech Chesed V'Emet, just full of forgiveness and loving kindness. And then the end is not as nice. So I'm going to stop translating right there.
Visiting the iniquity of the parents on the children of the third and fourth generation.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
Thank you, Francie.
You're welcome.
And now we say the blessing after.
They went away.
It went away. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. No, you had it. You had it. That's it. After. You're good. You're good.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'toveinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach to you. Mazel tov. Yasher kochech, Francie. Okay. So we're going to take a moment now, while our Sefer Torah is out and unwrapped, and offer this Mishaberach, this prayer for healing on behalf of members of our congregation and our community who are in need of God's healing presence. I'll be reading a list of names of those who are in need of healing, but if there are others whose name might not be on this list, I asked as we move from this side of our tent to this, to say it. Those of you online, if you're watching on Facebook and you want to write the name in the chat, please do, so that all of us might ask for God's healing presence on their behalf. Mishaberach Avo this Shabbat, we are mindful of Zachary Hoffman, David Karner, David Goldenberg, Stuart Myers, Catherine Plus, Jean Silber, Scott Englander, Stacy Hoffman, Brian John Miller, Phyllis Schulman, James Tepper, Alan Davidson, Donald Gross, Marcine Goldman, Douglas Hamilton, Ira Levine, Shanti Chazan, Deborah Alenikoff, Alex Busnevetsky, Lori Goldman, Larry Ambrose, Laura Culver, Sylvia Goodman, Jerry Luckton, Ernie Stone, Carol Weiner, Jared Siegel, Arnold Brodsky, Myra Rieger, Shirley Barton, Robin Huss, and Ann Clark. Are there other names? Baruch atah Adonai mekor harefuah. We praise you, Adonai, the source of healing.
We rise as we are able, as we lift and wrap our Sefer Torah. Vezotat Torah asher sam Moshe l'nei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yalai lai 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 yalai lai lai yalai lai 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 yalai lai lai yalai lai lai yalai lai 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 yalai lai 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 lai. Eitz ha'imi lamachazikim ba betochecha meyushay deracheya darcheino v'chol netivoteh shalom. Ashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadish yameinu keken Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So just for a moment, we're going to learn a little bit more about this Torah portion and Chol HaMoed Sukkot, which is a very confusing title for what we're doing today, because Chol HaMoed Sukkot means the regular day of the special day of Sukkot. That's what it means. Chol means regular. We say that when we do Havdalah, Hamavdil ben Kodesh l'Chol, who separates between the holy and the regular. And we recognize that on this holiday of Sukkot, there are the first 2 days, which are considered Chag, special, and then there are the last days, which are considered special. And we're going to hear a lot more about those in just a moment when we do announcements and talk about the 7 bazillion services that are happening in the next 4 days. But for right now, I actually want to focus on right now and what we just did. So we read from this Torah portion in the middle of the book of Exodus. And the strange thing about this Torah portion is that it is the middle of a story. Just like we're in the middle of our holiday, we came in the middle of a story and left before it really ended. So what did we actually read? Well, holding on to that for just 1 second, the bigger frame of what we're talking about tonight actually comes from the book of Kohelet, the book of Ecclesiastes. And some of us were here on the first day of Sukkot when Rabbi Black and his class, Emanuel elders, taught very beautifully about the book of Kohelet. And in that book, and at the end of tonight, we're going to sing a song that has this word in it, this lyric in it. We say, a season is set for everything, a time for every purpose under heaven. That should sound a little familiar to some of you from a particular generation. Had to get it in there. There is one of the lines say, thank you, Sylvia. One of the lines says, there is a time for tearing down and a time for building up. Now, in a list of opposites, that makes perfect sense. But if you think about that order, there is a time for tearing down and a time for building up, it could seem a little bit backwards. And in particular, if you think about saying these words on the holiday of Sukkot, which, as we learned earlier this evening in our opening poem, is a holiday of building. We build stuff. We build huts on Sukkot. That also seems pretty backwards. Why are we starting with tearing down? Well, my contention tonight is that our Torah portion helps us understand a little bit why we might be talking about tearing down and then building up instead of the other way around. So, what story have we dropped ourselves into? Well, in Exodus 33:12 to 34:26, which is our Torah portion for tonight, we are right in the middle of the story of the golden calf. That's where we are. One of the most dramatic stories in the Torah. What has happened? Well, very quick summary of where we are. The Israelites have just received the 10 commandments. The first commandment is, I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods aside from me. Moses goes up the mountain to write it down, and the Israelites freak out. Moses is gone for too long, and because he is gone, the Israelites decide instead to build an idol, a golden calf, directly against the first commandment they just received. They make a giant cow. God looks down, sees the golden cow, and you can imagine how God might respond. It's not good. Moses also gets pretty upset, and God threatens to destroy all of the Israelites, all of the people that he just saved. God is furious. Moses is distraught, and the people are in peril. It's one of the most dramatic moments in the Torah. Now, what we actually read tonight is the moment right after that, because Moses has interceded on the people's behalf. In his pain, Moses says to God, please don't destroy these people. And God says, okay, Moses, for your sake, I will not destroy. And then it gets really interesting, because what happens right after that is that Moses asks God to please reveal God's self to the people, show the people that God is still here. And so when we start to look at what's going on, we start to see that what Moses is cleverly doing is actually creating a reassurance of relationship. Having torn down the entire covenant between the people and God, Moses is trying to build it back up again. And this is where we connect to our idea of tearing down and building up. But in our Torah portion, we're not talking about physical structures. We're not talking about that tent that's going to get torn down this week. And we're not talking about the sukkah that many of us have built in our backyards. We're talking about people and interpersonal connection. And so what does Moses do to attempt to build back up this relationship? He begs God to show God's self to the people. He begs God to give the people a second chance. And then Moses and God remind the people about our holidays and what we do on our holidays, which incidentally is why we read it during the holiday of Sukkot, because way at the very end, we mention Sukkot one time. That's why we read this Torah portion. But God is restating the conditions of the covenant that the people have just forgotten. Reassurance, second chances, reminding of our promises. Those are the three pillars on which we build back up again. Triangles, they are the most sturdy shape. We have three things that Moses asks God to do in order to make our relationship work again. So how does this relate to us right now? Where are we in our own emotional state that this connects to this idea of tearing down and building up? Well, for many of us, we have just come through Yom Kippur. We spent 25 hours and 10 days before that and a whole month before that tearing ourselves down, peeling away all of the layers, all of the masks that we wear and use to the outside world, and finding the core of who we are and pushing ourselves to imagine how we could have been better and how we should be better for the next year. And that is hard, and it is raw, and it is exhausting. And on this Shabbat, we start the process of building ourselves back up again. We allow ourselves to come back into community. It would be so easy after Yom Kippur to go home and never come back to services again, right? It's a lot of Judaism for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. But our holiday cycle says, no, come back here. Don't run away after Yom Kippur when you're still, even though we went through Ne'ilah and reminded ourselves that it's going to be okay, just one time is not really enough. We need more. Come back. And let's have a holiday all about building. Let's build ourselves back up again. Communally, interpersonally. Let's remind each other that we are here for each other. Physically, virtually, we're here. Our community is here. Let's remind each other that we all deserve a second chance. No matter what we atoned for on Yom Kippur, we deserve a second chance. And let's remind each other of that in our community. And 3, let's remember what it is to be community in the first place. Let's restate the promises of what it means to be part of our Kehila Kadosha, our sacred community. At the very beginning of this service, we read these words from our liturgist, Alden Salavi. We said, this is the season of building tents of holiness, shelters of peace in our land and in our hearts. And so on this holiday of Sukkot, I wish for all of you that it is a season of building and rebuilding. And may we be blessed with feeling God's divine presence. May we be blessed with second chances. And may we be blessed with a clear vision for the year ahead. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Yasher kochech. Beautifully done.
Thank you.
So we move now to Aleinu, and we rise as we are able.
There you are. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. On the Shabbat of Sukkot, we remember Morton Blager, Ellie Greenberg, Karen Lynn Karlitz, and Bennett Nieberg, who were taken from us this past week. And we link to their names those who were taken from us in the previous 30 days. Kathy Carr, Ada Domri, Nate Kellman, and Fred Malver. And we link with their names those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death occurs at this time. Esther B. Alpert, Gary Antonoff, William Bauer, Natalie M. Bernstein, David Bloom, Joseph Boris, Mort Braun, Bessie Stein Brown, Sarah Brown, Sarah Chaffet, Isidore Cohen, Judith Ehrenberg, Berthold Flesher, Dr. Burton Forbes, Henry B. Frosch, Gretel Gates, Julius I. Ginsberg, Jacob Green, Zelda C. Green, Max Grimes, Cillian Cohen Hamilton, Edwin Hennekoff, Sigmund E. Herstein, Elliot Husney, Anna Kaminsky, Brett Carson, Bernard Kemper, Barry Kirschbaum, Carrie Cohn, Stanley H. Kramer, Hazel Snyder Krantz, Fred Lang, Irving Layton, Nathan Launder, Ruth Malk, Bertha Newmark, Morton L. Pepper, Pauline Quiet, Doris S. Rifkin, Jane Rhodes Rittenberg, Samuel Priest Rose, Edith Schiff, Don Siegel, Joseph Selpst, Libby Rubin Solander, Saul Solomon, Irene Schiffer Sommer, Etta Barry Spiegelman, Ernest Strauss, Keel David Swartz, Albert Tobias, Berta Tobias, Rose Tucker, Jenny Washer, Pearl Weinberg, Edwin J. Wittelshofer, Aileen M. Wolfson. And we link with their names 10 of the community of Colleen, the 420 precious souls with whom our congregation is linked through our Colleen Chapel. We remember Reinhold Heller, Walter Heller, Anna Hellerova, Benska Hellerova, Elsa Hellerova, Aida Hellerova, Helena Hellerova, Hermina Hellerova, Karolina Hellerova, and Ruth Hellerova. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be for an eternal blessing. Are there other names for whom Kaddish is being said on this Shabbat? Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. I ask at this time, if you have lost a loved one in the past 30 days, to please rise now as you are able. If you are still in the 11-month period of mourning since the loss of a loved one, please rise now as you are able. If you are observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death on this Shabbat, please rise as you are able. And now in solidarity, I ask us all to rise as we can physically or spiritually as we join together in ancient words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ba'alma divrach hir'utei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach la'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. And may the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here among us, wherever they may be. And let us say, Amen.
As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. So we're just going to remain standing very briefly for our quick announcement before we get to Kiddush and Motzi, because unbelievably, it is getting cold in the tent.
Oh my.
I know. We never thought this day would happen. So, Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Nick. If you haven't had enough services yet, great news. There are many more that are happening. So the first thing that is happening is tomorrow morning, Ella is becoming a bat mitzvah. Woo! Right here in the tent. Justin Kaplan will also be coming bar mitzvah here in our tent tomorrow. At 9:30 tomorrow morning, Rabbi Black will be teaching on Parshat Chol, HaMoed, Sukkot, and other Sukkot assorted things. And at 11 o'clock, Rabbi Black and I will be leading the community service in our finer chapel.
When was the last time we did that?
June 19th. Sorry.
It's amazing.
Yes,
We just did a lot of B'nai Mitzvah over the course of the summer.
Right, exactly. So we will be leading that service together in the finer chapel, and you are welcome to come if you have registered in advance. We will be streaming all of these things on our website and on our temple Facebook pages. And then on Sunday, September 26th at 6 o'clock, after the Bronco game, for a half an hour from 6 to 6:30, there will be a streamed-only Simchat Torah family service, full of fun on Channel 1 with all of the clergy.
Until it's done.
You are rubbing off on me. Yes.
That was awesome.
With all of the clergy and our learning team, Brad Cohen and Jocelyn Rosenberg. And we will be having a great time celebrating Simchat Torah. So we invite you to tune in for that for a half an hour. on Monday, September 27th at 6 o'clock, in the tent, there will be a Simchat Torah service where we will unroll this Sefer Torah all the way around the tent.
And we need people to come so you can hold the Torah.
That is very true. We need people to help hold up the Torah, so please do come. You are able to come if you are vaccinated, masked, and registered. Unfortunately, at this time, we cannot have children under 12 for that service here, which is why we're doing the streamed family service on Sunday. But adults, please do come. We think it is the first time ever that someone has unrolled a whole Torah in a tent. So this is a pretty amazing experience. Then on Tuesday morning, September 28th at 11 o'clock, we will conclude our holiday with a brief celebration of Simchat Torah and our Yizkor service, our memorial service, where we once again hold in our hearts all of those that we have lost over the past year and loved ones who have passed at seasons gone by. That's what's happening in the next few days. The other major thing is that next Friday night, we will be inside our sanctuary. We are very excited to be welcoming people into our sanctuary for the first time since its renovation. 6 o'clock, sign up on the website. We will be sending out some more information about exactly what this is going to look like. But the short version is that we will have up to 200 people allowed in our sanctuary, which seats 1,500 people, lots of space.
1,600.
Depends on how many chairs you want to smush in there. So, okay, 1,500 people. And once again, please register if you are vaccinated, and we will be masked the whole time. That's enough for right now. At this moment, I am going to invite Ella to come on up and help us say Kiddush.
All right, Ella.
Thank you for the underscore, Rabbi.
You're welcome. I just enjoy doing that. Yeah, I know. I'm going to give you the big Kiddush cup, Alice. You stand right next to the cantor.
Come here.
Take this. Hold it.
And so we bless Shabbat together. You ready? We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Super high. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
You can drink if you want. It's grape juice. It's fine. Drink the grape juice. It's okay. You're fine.
It's okay. And we say our blessing over the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
You can bring that to your family. Enjoy
Mazel
those
tov.
teeny tiny chalot. You can go sit down. And we conclude with vintage. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season.
Turn, turn, turn.
And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up and a time to break down. A time to dance and a time to mourn. A time to cast away stone. A time to gather stone together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time of love and a time of hate. A time of war and a time of peace. A time that you may embrace. A time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. And a time to every purpose under heaven. Eloheinu ve'Elohei kol dorotenu, our God and the God of every generation. At this time of turning, this time of giving thanks, this time, Zman simchatenu, this time of our joy, we give thanks for the ability to look at the harvest of our lives, to give thanks for all the bounty you have bequeathed to us, to give thanks for the blessing of community, to give thanks for the blessing of your chagim, your festivals that show us where we fit in the continuity of time. And we ask your blessing. Bruchim hayinu b'voenu, bruchim nihiyeh b'tzeitenu. Blessed were we in coming here. Blessed may we be as we go forth for this time and always. Amen. Mo'adim l'simcha. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
shalom.